Oh, it's 8 o'clock. We're so late, our kids are gonna have detention. Come on, Tobes.
Beneath your feet, there is a secret world. A vast civilization where good trolls live and evil trolls lurk. For centuries, these lands have been protected by one warrior.
Give me the amulet, Trollhunter.
I'd rather die. The amulet will find a champion.
Hello?
Master Jim! You have been chosen.
Jim, you are now responsible for the protection of two worlds, human and troll alike.
But if you do not protect us, Hula and his army will destroy your world.
Go! Flying truck!
I knew you had potential.
You have a sweet voice, but you bring death with you.
The fight is within you. Are you ready? The Amulet of Daylight challenges you to ascend to the most sacred of offices. For you, Master Jim, are the Trollhunter.
So there's nowhere to go but up.
We should begin your training.
Now I have 2 lives to keep up.
Who are you, Jim Lake?
You've got a great lift.
There is nowhere to run, Trollhunter.
Do your worst.
Welcome, everybody, to the Animation Station Podcast, episode 109. My name is Josh, and today I'm joined by 2 very special guests. First, I have Megan.
Hello.
And Signe.
Hi.
And today we're going to be kicking off our Trollhunters series with Trollhunters Season 1. Are you guys excited?
Yes. Yes, very. Very excited.
I just finished rewatching last night. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take.
Yeah, it's a very long part of the series. The other 2 are pretty short, but that one's like really long. It's got all the exposition, everything you need.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it here in just a sec. But we do have a little bit of news.
Ooh, what?
There was a little bit of news that came out of Anime Expo a couple weeks ago. It looks like Toei Animation and Fathom Events are going to be releasing some Dragon Ball Z movies. So they're going to be releasing Brawly, Bardock, and Fusion Reborn. So movies that came over here like back in the late 90s, early 2000s. They're being digitally remastered, and they're going to put them on the big screens. And tickets for those are on sale now.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Interesting.
So if we got DBZ fans, definitely go check that out. We also finally hit 500 followers on Instagram. Thanks for that, everybody.
Woo!
And if you haven't already, go pick up friend of the show, Stephen McCraney. His comic Space Boy is available from Dark Horse Comics, so definitely go check that out. And be sure and check out last week's episode where we talked with the creator of the webtoon Darby, Mr. Sherrard Jackson. So definitely go check that out. It was a super fun episode. Other than that, I mean, that's all the news I have. Does anybody have any news?
I don't think so. Just I have a dog over here looking at me like, "What are you doing?" That's news.
That is news.
I guess the only thing I want to say is a shout out to Aaron Walkie, who said he might be watching or listening, I should say. So just a little shout out if you're listening. Hey,
Hey.
Aaron, if you're watching, you're welcome on the show anytime. Alrighty, okay, so I wanted to do some stupid thing. I wanted to be like, for the glory of Merlin, this podcast is about to begin, but it sounded really stupid.
No, that's awesome.
So, like, in my head, I was like, that would be cool, as I pressed my glasses up the bridge of my nose, but like, that would be awesome. And then,
I have
yeah.
a cool idea.
Then I wrote it down and I was like, oh, that looks stupid.
No, it's not stupid.
Well, anyway, so for the glory of Merlin, as my voice cracks, this podcast is about to begin. So let's talk about Trollhunters Season 1. All right, so first off, we're going to be doing a spoiler, I guess, for Trollhunters, which came out like 3 years ago. So, I mean, I guess spoilers?
Spoilers, but you should have seen it.
Exactly.
Spoilers, but you should get on that by now.
So first off, let's just go ahead and talk about the cast, because I love this cast.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh. Very all-star cast.
Oh yeah. So first off, we have Anton Yelchin as Jim Lake Jr.
Yeah.
Charlie Saxton as Tobias, Jonathan Hyde as Walter Strickler, who may be my favorite character in the show.
Yeah, oh my gosh, amazing. And he does, I mean, I couldn't imagine that voice as anybody else.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the same thing with Kelsey Grammer as Blinky.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
If it's not Kelsey Grammer, I don't know who else you're gonna get for that role.
Exactly. It was perfect. Spot on.
Yeah, and they had a lot of like people like, you know, pre-desired for a lot of positions in that show, and I hear Kelsey Grammer was definitely one. They were like, no, he has to be Blinky. It has to be Kelsey Grammer. We need that voice, that beautiful, beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Alexi. I'm probably going to butcher her name. Is it Madrano?
I think so.
As Claire?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. She has a really wonderful job, and that's actually like apparently her first like voiceover role.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, it's very hard to believe once you hear how she does as Claire. She's very, very, very good.
Then we have
Ron never guessed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, get on that. Write that down. We have Ron Perlman as Bular, which I wish that we would have gotten a little bit more out of Ron Perlman.
Yeah,
He's in it for just a bit, and then he's gone.
Yeah, it's
I think by episode 13, he's like gone already. It's like,
there he goes. But
major villains.
Yeah, he comes back once.
Yes.
During the Pixie episode, so that was kind of good. Then we have Stephen Yoon as Steve Palchuk.
Oh yes.
Matthew Watterson as Drawl. Lauren Tom plays Nomura, and I was thinking that the voice, like on my second watch, I was like, that voice sounds really familiar, and I looked her up and I was like, oh my gosh, she's basically played everybody.
Yeah.
Like she's number 3 in Number 3 Next Door.
Yep.
She's
Amy Wong,
Connie in Min Sufanusenfong and King of the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
What? I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, like all kinds, like that blew my mind. I was like, the voice sounds really familiar. And then when I was just doing digging, I was like, oh my gosh, she's been in everything.
Yeah,
she's one of my favorite characters. I love her so much.
Oh.
Yeah, I love that character. She's like, I was rewatching it last night as well, and like I got to her episode when she's introduced, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this makes sense now.
The iconic whistling.
Oh my gosh, I love the whistling. It's so creepy, but it's so perfect.
Oh yeah, the whistling and that whole sequence. Like whenever, and I love it's the same each time, so I totally dig that scene. Plus, it's a super cool fight scene with the two.
Oh my god, yeah, it's very eye-catching.
Then we have Jimmy Wood as Not Enrique.
Yes, I love that.
Not Enrique.
I love that. That's the name
that we just get with this.
Yeah, they're like, that's not Enrique, and then for the rest of the series, that's just what they call him.
Yeah.
It's perfect, though.
Then I guess we can like kind of round it off with Cole Sand as Eli Pepperjack. I forgot how much I loved Eli. Like,
I love
watching
Eli.
this like in season 1. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about Eli. I love Eli.
I like that
really
Eli's
sweet.
Like, you know, kind of the most, I guess you could say, like, woke character when it comes to like what's actually happening, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, Eli, like whatever.
Like, he's so nice to Jim even, and Jim doesn't even care until like season 2 about him. He's just like, oh, good job, Jim.
Yeah, like he saves Eli that one time in season 1, like episode
It's like
1.
forever in his debt.
Exactly, and then it's like, but it's more of a stand up to Steve type thing.
Yeah.
And Eli just happened to be there.
Yeah.
Like, even when he like touches like starts like tapping him with the horseshoe, Eli's like, "Oh, thank you."
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's just like, what the heck?
He's like, oh, thanks. Like,
Oh
Like,
my gosh,
I
he's so
deserve
sweet.
This is great. Man.
everyone's kind of just annoyed. They're like, why are you touching me? And Eli's just like, oh,
Thanks,
yay,
Jim.
You did something, and it involved me.
Oh man! Oh! And the when they're in the gym and he gets nominated for like homecoming, whatever it is.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He's like, I have friends, and then there's a girl in the background. I was like, no, you don't. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
No, you don't.
It makes you wonder who even nominated these people.
Yeah, it's like, where did these come from? Like, they seem so
Different.
Yeah, like, okay, we're gonna have, like, the bully, the little nerd, the cute little nerd, and then, I don't know, kind of like this outsider. I don't really know how to describe Jim. You know, he's kind of just like, good student, mama's boy.
He's the everyman. Like, I
Yeah.
would say, like, Jim's like just
the jack
like,
of all trades.
you're
Like, he's nice
everything,
to
yeah.
everybody.
So different people, though.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of interesting dynamics and like class structures that go on in Arcadia. Like, that high school is like a melting pot of everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's so much. I just love, like, the little detail of the popular girl that's actually the mascot.
Yes,
Yeah.
Darby.
Yeah.
Wait, Darcy. Sorry, I say Darby
Darcy.
because that's her ship name.
That's their ship name. And Toby's just like, oh, you know, I know there's a girl in there, and they're like, okay.
Sure there is, Toby.
So, yeah, whatever you say, man. I just like watching her be like, that's a girl I know. You're like, sure, bro. I was
like,
really
"Thanks,
hoping, like, there was part of me that was really hoping that it was going to be Eli for a second.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be Eli. Like, it's
And
gonna
then we
be
saw Eli,
so
I was like,
cool.
ah, dang, it's not him.
Yeah.
And there was all the hints that it was actually Darcy.
Yeah,
like, she came in late.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I should have known, but I didn't.
Yeah, watching it afterwards, you're like, oh, that makes total sense.
Yeah, and like Claire, like she gives her like a high five or a fist bump or something, because like she knows, I guess.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, like she comes in and she's like, oh yeah, little fist bump, good job.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, I like the little details of the show, definitely. They're really interesting to see, especially when you rewatch it. Like, if you go back to the episode where they first go to the museum, first of all, like, that episode to me at first came out of nowhere. I was like, why are they at a museum? Like, what's happening? Like,
Oh, yeah, like
what?
random field trip day.
Random field trip day, and then, you know, you hear Strickler talking to Nomura, and he's like, oh, you know, like, we don't have that much time, maybe they should just go run around by themselves. And at first you're like, okay, so he's just a cool teacher, like, he doesn't want to bore them, but then you realize that that's not just a field trip, that's, let me bring the kids to the museum so that we can go deal with
And
this bridge
conspire.
stuff. Yeah, because you realize that she's, you know, obviously, spoilers, she's a changeling as well, so.
Gasp.
Oh
Gasp.
no, we love
Oh,
a major
no.
spoiler.
Taylor. So, like, I think just things like that you're like, okay, this makes no sense, but when you rewatch it, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like,
okay.
everything has a purpose.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
that gets thrown away, which is, like, really great.
Even the small episodes, like the one with the Noam Chomsky, and you
I
think it's
love
just a
that.
spoiler episode, like this is a random throwaway episode, but then he's in
Yeah.
the rest of the series. You're just like, oh,
Yeah.
it wasn't just like a throwaway episode.
Yeah, no, like, they end up keeping the gnome, and he's, like, helping them, and it, like...
I love the gnome.
Funny
The gnome's so cute.
Yeah, it's a funny little character that's...
His little story that he goes about through his life with that
Yeah.
little doll.
It's so cute. It's really cute when he's just like hanging out with this little thing.
Signe, was it you that mentioned like the background characters, like how like they'll do random things throughout?
Yeah. Did you notice any of that?
Yes, I did. I noticed quite a bit after you said that. I was intentionally looking for that. Like, there's that kid that literally walks into the. I guess I think it's one of Steve's friends, but there are a few of the secondary and like the background characters that do have the same design. So it's kind of hard sometimes to see who is who if they kind of like just change like hair color and make somebody tanner.
Yeah.
Like that security guard that gets eaten is like the same character as the delivery guy who squashes the the goblin, who's also the cop when Toby has no bones. So it's all like everybody like they kind of look the same, but like there's it looks like Steve's other friend that like walks in to class, like throws his bag down and just like puts his head on his desk and goes to sleep. I was like, wow, that's like really cool, and like he kind of moves a little bit in his sleep. So I was like, oh, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, like, they didn't
really
just leave him there, like. Because, in animation, like, you don't have to move him. Like, that could have just been easy enough to just put him there, but no, he moves a little.
Yeah, and, like, what is it? The same thing, like, Noam Chomsky does that, too.
Yeah.
Like, when they're all, like, in the room, you kind of just see him in his little dollhouse, and he, like, moves a dresser in front of a window so he doesn't have to see everybody. It's
so adorable.
Stuff like that. It's so cool. It's really cool. Really interesting. I love the fact that they do that.
Yeah, when I think it's when Jim is trying to explain to Toby like about the amulet. So really early on, and Toby's just kind of like, yeah, this is cool. We should use it to beat up Steve. Like,
oh gosh, yeah.
And like he's trying to make pizza or something in the microwave, and he tries to close it, and it just opens again, and then he has to like shut it harder.
Well,
like,
and he takes the ice pack out of the freezer and just like, oh my mouth still hurts. I'm to be honest.
Oh, my mouth, yeah.
Yeah, and he does another thing too, like when he's trying to put his bag on its little hook on his desk, and it like falls the first time, and he like does it again, like that stuff like that. It's really cool, and I'm looking forward to season 2 and season 3 to catch those same little things.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of that like throughout, which is so. I mean, it's so fun to see, and it's like so funny, especially when you rewatch it because you're not as like like, oh my gosh, I'm paying attention to this story now. Like, you get to go back and really look at like subtle things and subtle hints. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. I think actually like one of my favorite little it's not like a really little hint or anything. I think just like a clever quip line is when Claire is fighting Engelrot. And she has the staff, and he's like, it's not supposed to be wielded by man. And she's like, I'm not a man.
Yeah, that's a good line.
I'm like, that's when I'm just like, oh my gosh, girls, yes.
and then she gives him the old lesson number 3.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I think that's just the funniest thing. Like, who was like, you know what? Why don't we just give them the third rule is just always kick at the crotch, like.
I love how it's a rule too. It's like, these are the rules for Trollhunters. Like, kick him in the grid knocks. And you're like, oh, cool, interesting. That's a great rule.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And he completely ignores the second rule for good reasons. Which is not like finishing the fight. He never does, which is like so commendable. And they bring it up again in season 3. How he's just like, that's what makes him like
different.
A great troll hunter, pretty much, because he has his human instincts to him, and he follows them. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Humanity.
A lot that his humanity is like important. He's when he doesn't want to kill Drawl, and he's like saying, he's like, no, I'm human. Like, this chose me. Like, I'm gonna do things differently. I'm not a troll, so I'm not gonna do this like trolls.
Exactly.
So good, so individual.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So we start this the series off with Kanjigar and Bulma fighting each other.
Yes. That was like something to get thrown into. I was like, whoa, who is this? Okay, I could tell who's good, I could tell who's bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really easy to tell who's good and bad. I will.
I was like, I can definitely see.
I loved Bular. Dang it,
Bular.
I love his design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creepy.
I mean, way more than like Gunmar, honestly. Which
yeah, so I was gonna say
talk Gunmar a little bit. That'll be season 3, but. I like Bular better than I like Gunmar. Like, I wish that Bular would have been the main villain throughout. Because Gunmar, to me, like, spoilers for season 3, which is, like, in 2 weeks. Like, my problem with, like, Gunmar is he doesn't seem to be, like, a menacing figure.
Yeah, he's not
Whereas
as menacing.
Bular is, because, I mean, Bular actually kills people and, like, kind of gets stuff done sometimes. But
yeah, I think that's like
Gunmar's just like, eh.
Yeah, Gunmar's more just like the everybody do my bidding type of bad guy, which works still, but like it's definitely fun to see
them actually doing stuff.
Yeah, but I guess he is stuck somewhere, so.
Like, I never see him as like a real threat.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, even when he comes to Arcadia and he's in the real world, he's just like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
like,
it's
cool,
very,
thanks.
very subtle. I think it's like a kind of interesting path to take with a villain is that he's kind of just quiet, but it's also like, you know, it was really, really fun. I'd like to see more of Bular.
Because I mean, if Bular and Angarat are actually like fighting on the same team, then it's scary.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Then there's stakes, but
I think Angarat was like my favorite of like the troll antagonists.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I think he's the best. Like, that
scary.
and Morgana. But
oh my gosh, I hope she comes back because she has so much.
I want her to come back. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Spoilers. They don't already know. Spoilers for season 3.
Yeah, no, but
we'll spoil everything for Trollhunters. Don't worry. Just like we're gonna put that out now, so everything is spoiled for Trollhunters.
Who would listen to the podcasts for something before they watch it? Like, come on. Unless you want to do that. You would
think that, but that's happened before.
And people get mad.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I didn't know it was a spoiler episode." Well, we put it in the title, and we said it like 7 times.
Just keep hammering
and
that
then it's
point.
your own fault if you do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's whatever, but I definitely loved Angarat and just, I mean, even past the first season, just his entire, like, character, like, he was definitely scary. Like, there's moments I was sitting there, I was like, oh my god, like, this is really for kids? Are you sure?
And when you get his little backstory of like the reason like he doesn't have a soul,
yeah,
you just think, oh man, that's tragic. You were just trying to save your people from
he's
Gunmar.
not
Like he's a good
evil.
Dude.
Yeah,
and then he picks the wrong person.
Yeah, he's not just this bad guy. He actually has like kind of a motive and a story.
Yeah, I really didn't see him as a threat until the episode where he like catches Jim in like what's it called, a stasis trap or something.
Oh my god, those things!
And he like put those little markings on his face, and I was like, oh my god, are those permanent?
Cool.
And he like had this ritual he was doing. I'm like, oh my god, this is just too much.
Yeah, that was scary. He was like, I marked him for a fate worse than death. I was like,
oh my god.
Yeah, and then like I mean, I'll say one thing. Like, I love his knife. Like, if somebody could make a replica of Angarat's knife, I would buy that thing because that looks super cool.
Yeah,
I want it to glow green.
Glowing knife.
His knife is pretty cool.
So then we have, unfortunately, Kanjigar gets defeated, and then Jim and Toby late for class.
I love that it starts with like Jim is like this. Super, like, I like this, like, the little, not like little, obviously it's a big detail, but the fact that Jim kind of takes care of his mom and it's like what he wants to be doing.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Because that just made me fall in love with him right away.
Yeah, like you instantly love this boy because he gets up at 6 a.m. to like make his mom breakfast and dinner.
And lunch and all that stuff.
She makes him like all the meals, and same with his friend who we learn later, I think, in the first season, towards the end of the first season, he's an orphan.
It's hinted, Like when he's talking to Ark, he says it's just me and Nana, and that's pretty much all we get. We don't really get like why until later.
Until they have the flower babies.
Exactly. And then when you actually get it, you're like, oh wow, that's really tragic.
And you're like, oh, that's why, like, you know, Jim kind of, you know, he does a lot for him.
Yeah, he does so much for his mother. It's just like amazing. Like, I just love watching the details, like, of things he does.
Like you can right away, like, you're like, okay, so like he's obviously a great person, so he's hero boy. Like, you know, it makes sense.
Fact that he wears the clothes like for the day in his sleep. Because first off, he sleeps in jeans, and I'm like, bro, that's not comfortable. Don't sleep in jeans.
I do remember like high school boys that would do things like that. Like they would just go back to sleep in whatever they were wearing or stuff like that. But he does address that in one episode. That's
it was like, I wear this every day.
Yeah, Toby's like, really wear that? He's like, I wear this every day. And like, it takes a second for you to see him, and then you're like, oh, yeah.
They broke the barrier.
They're becoming self-aware. I wear this every day.
And I love when they do, like, give them pajamas and stuff. It's their gym uniform.
Yeah.
Like, everyone. Like, not even just Jim, it's Claire, too, that gets them, like, okay. Couldn't think of another outfit, could you?
I do like what they do with Claire, like, that one time where they just, like, she's just in her Hamlet shirt. Like, she doesn't have her coat on, like, when she and Jim, like, run through the forest together.
Yeah, when she's, like, brought into everything.
Yeah, like, I like that.
She's just sitting in her room.
Like, that type of detail. I'm like, okay, give me more of that. And then Trollhunters is like, nah, it's fine. We will only, from now on, draw Jim in either his armor, a white t-shirt, or his full ensemble.
I like the white t-shirt Jim. That's pretty funny to see.
Yeah.
Just, like, because he's just... I don't know, I think it's especially because he's wearing the white t-shirt in the episode where he's basically just drunk the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I love that one.
He's getting crispy.
It's hilarious.
Man, but the fact is, that's him if he had, like, no fear. It's scary because if you think about it, he would actually say that stuff if he had no fear. That's him still.
That's his true self coming out. But I guess, you know, a lot of things we would do if we didn't have fear would be pretty... bad. And I think I like that the show that they highlight, like, no, it's okay to be afraid because it keeps you in check. Like, arrogance is definitely bad. Like, don't get too comfortable with things, you know. It's like, don't walk into the teacher's lounge like he does. Don't go on the loudspeaker.
He does.
It's like, I taught myself bass in 5 minutes, so here you
and then
go.
it's like awful. And Claire is just not having it.
And she just like backflips him onto the floor and like, go Claire.
I love no kiss then, and she just throws papers at his face.
No sweat off my back anyway. Didn't want
it.
Love it. Oh my gosh. It's just like Jim just being Steve, and you're like, okay, I like this type of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely funny. And I just love the panic from Toby. He's like, no, Jim's like drunk, help me.
And then he goes down to Troll Market. He's like about to get a tattoo.
Oh yeah, it's like make it a heart, but like with a line down the middle, crying. Like, okay.
Wow. Even that's like the most manliest thing to say. It's so Jim to say that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he's like running through the. You know, you just have like this child like running through. He's in the armor. He's like, well, I have found myself. And they're like, no, stop.
I love the way he says his incantation during them when it's like, for the glory of Merlin, daylight is mine to command.
Yeah, he completely gets into that. I like that when it's a Jim that doesn't have, like, I guess, emotion, like negative emotion. He's so cocky that I think, like, with the, well, I think this is later on. I don't remember if it's...
Is it season 2 or season 3?
I think that might be season 2 where there's, like, the multiple
all the gems?
Yeah.
That's a great episode.
Oh my gosh, I love that episode so much.
It's just, hey, Anton, we need you to act 17 different ways. Go,
yeah.
And one of them needs to be Spanish.
I love the Spanish. Like, I don't know, like...
Yeah, I love that he, like it's just...
It's
there.
just part of him that he speaks Spanish, and it's kind of like a... I don't know, like a suave thing for him that he tries to do, but
it has to be for Claire because reading the book, I read like there's a first Trollhunters book and that was based off the series, and I read it, and apparently he keeps on messing up and speaking Spanish, so apparently he's doing it just to impress Claire, but he knows it. He just doesn't say it the right way. It's weird.
Yeah, there is the time in the first season when he's tiny and he's trying to do the thing. He says "morted" or something, or "muerto." He's like, "That's not a word."
I love that. That's my favorite. Like Steve was like, "That's not a word." Muerto ed.
Yes, it
is.
Not a word. Muerto ed. Yeah, that's definitely great. Yeah, I think it is definitely a Claire thing. It's definitely just a funny touch to him that he sometimes just will go full Spanish mode.
Well, Toby kind of like confronts him about that in season 3 when they're going on that date.
Yeah. He's like, no Spanish.
Says, no Spanish. You always resort to Spanish, and he's just like, no, I don't.
No, I don't. And of course you go back, you're like, yeah,
isn't the first thing he says is like "hola," like when they like meet up, and you're just like, bro.
Yeah. Hola. Yeah. No. It's always with Spanish.
Always with the Spanish gem.
Speaking of Claire, I love that whenever we get introduced to Claire, it's that like super 80s slow-mo like hair waving type. I was like, that's beautiful, guys.
Like, here comes beautiful love interest Claire.
I love that she's not like the typical love interest. Like, she's got like the perfect little prep and everything.
No, she's like kind of edgy, different. And she likes Shakespeare, and she likes this, like, I'm guessing, like, metal-ish band.
Papa Skull.
Papa Skull. She's got the skull shirt, like, she definitely has her own things. She's got the clips. I love the hair clips.
Yeah, I love that they're different color, too. Like, I like that they're not just, like, she went with, like, she's got the blue streak, and I like how it's like, I'm not just going to do, like, red hair clips. I'm going to do, like, a red one, a yellow one,
a green
one.
Yeah. Pink one. Like, she's got all the hair clips. They're so cute. And she's got the dark short hair.
The short hair is very important because a lot of people, like, think long hair is feminine. It's like, no, it's not always.
Yeah, I think she's got a really unique character.
Yes.
Like, definitely just really great character. Like, miss that character when you want to rewatch the show. You're like, yeah, I liked her. I think also, what was the episodes when she's finding out about everything, and she kind of like immediately, I mean, at first obviously there's a lot of like, nope, not real, and she's
like,
kind of just
raccoons, and you're like,
it's raccoons, and you're like, no, it's not raccoons, but she's kind of just looking at Jim like he's crazy. I think that's hilarious.
First of all, he climbs through her window, which is creepy to begin with.
He climbs up through her window, and he's not supposed to be there. Like, I gotta say, she's a very forgiving person.
Well, I had, for whatever reason, like, in my head, when he writes those notes to everybody, I thought that was way later on in the season. And it's like episode 6.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh snap! I completely forgot. I remembered the letters, but I didn't remember it was so early. So like, she finds out pretty dang early that he's got these inner demons.
And even she's like skeptical that they're inner. Like, I think that's like one of the greatest things about the show is that they don't. Like, there's always so many shows with, like, you know, the superhero and the secret, or the magic and the secret, and it's kind of easily kept a secret in most shows.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like, I don't know, like, wouldn't that be hard? And, like, I like that in this show. It shows that it's really hard, and people are onto him, and people find him out pretty frequently.
And she breaks into his basement.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Into his basement. I love when she passes out, she hits her head in the basement, gets knocked out,
and draws this like her up by her feet, shows her like, hey, look what I got.
Like, no, put her back.
I thought it would. To me, it would have been a little bit funny if, like, as he was doing, because when he like puts his arm out and she's like dangling, like like bring, like, he kind of, if he would have like dipped her down a little bit and like her head would have like hit the floor, just like, oh, snap, you know, just kind of like, oh like, crap, it's a flesh bag. I don't know what to do with these.
I don't know what to do with this thing. I know. I love that he kind of just. He also like completely just goes, oh, like Gesundheit. She's like, thanks. Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. You know, so I love that, and especially with Jim's mom, because, like, I don't know, always growing up, I always thought about, like, obviously when you're a kid, you're watching those magic shows, you're like, oh my god, like, what if I was like that? And you're like, my parents would probably kill me. But it doesn't really happen in most shows. But in this show, like, it completely, you know, and immediately, very quickly, like, starts to strain Jim and his mom's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, like...
And I like that they show that, too. I like that it's not all, you know, flowers and puppies with their relationship.
Yeah.
Like, it starts off really, really strong. And it's one of the best relationships in the entire series. And then it just degrades.
Yeah.
Until the end, when she once, you know, everything is revealed, and she's like, now it makes so much sense, I'm so proud of you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then he decides not to tell her
she's
again.
like, oh my gosh, like, why do you have to do this? Yeah, that's also, like, she kept telling him, you know, you gotta tell me what you're doing, and he doesn't. That's another thing I like about him, is that he does make poor decisions sometimes, and he realizes that.
Yeah, like, he's not the best character. Like, he is
no,
a
and I
flawed
love
character.
that. I like flawed character.
Yeah, it's really refreshing to see that, because otherwise you're gonna get, like, I don't know, name some other character who's, you know, usually on the up and up and is always right and always great. But yeah, like, when you have a flawed character like this, you're like, okay, this.
Yeah, like,
it helps you bring it in too.
Yeah, like,
he makes mistakes, and it's okay.
Yeah,
and it's okay, and he's human. That's, like, kind of the most important aspect of, you know, this character, is that he is human, and
they don't let you forget it either, because he is a human troll hunter. He's human.
Troll
and
hunter.
I like how, like, the first season, so, like, he's the human troll hunter, and then
but, like, oh, no more.
As we get further down, like, especially into season 3, it's just he's the troll hunter. It's like,
he's the
human
hunter. Like,
aspect is gone. Like, nobody cares if he's human anymore. He's just troll hunter.
And he definitely does a lot of good things, especially, like, he he never really did anything wrong, but I guess just being human to them was wrong, and he totally
earns approval.
Yeah.
Well, he did kind of do the whole, you know, run off into the Darklands by himself.
Yeah, and it's very hard for them to give him any approval, and then, you know, once he does that, and again, they're just like, oh my gosh, this stupid kid. But I'm like, hey, come on, like, as compared to, like, some other troll hunters, like, he's done a lot in the little time that he's been troll hunter, so, like, give him a break. But no, I definitely, like, if you think about it, the decision to go into this dangerous place for one baby, like, it's a big part of the show that he does that, and it isn't a good decision. You know, if you really put it together, it's like everything that he's doing is residing for one baby. That's I mean, obviously you want to get a baby back, but it's safe anyway, you know.
He puts everyone else in front of himself, and sometimes doesn't think about the consequences of what's going to happen to him, and it leads him to bad situations.
Like a reversing that I think they even talk about that he needs to have, like, himself first, or, like, if you're no good to you, you're no good for anybody else. I don't remember a line like that was definitely said sometime in the series.
Sounds like Strickler, probably.
Yeah, maybe it was Strickler. I don't know.
Let's talk about Strickler for a second.
Yes, let's talk about Strickler.
There was a part of me that was kind of sad that he ended up being a changeling. Like, at first, like, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, no. Man.
Yes,
I thought
no,
he
me
was gonna
too.
be this cool, like, Mr. Feeney type character.
Yeah, no, I'd had the same exact reaction, because, like, I remember the first time we see him, and he's like, you know, this fun teacher, he's like, oh, like, if you like Claire, you should talk to her, like, blah, blah, blah. He's very nice. He understands that Jim is tired in class, and he's not paying attention, and he likes a girl. And then you're like, oh, no, he's bad. He's bad.
Yeah, like, and he, like, to me, he has the best arc in the series.
Oh, yes. Definitely had what I like to call it, a Zuko arc.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The Zuko arc.
Except he's not looking for honor. That's the only
Yeah, no, they don't want honor.
Honor!
No, they don't really have honor. Like, you know, Jim definitely brings honor to the show with his I'm not going to finish the fight thing, which is interesting, his idea. But Strickler, I mean, he's just he's got like the properness to him that makes him such a good villain, I think. For the time that he is a villain. And it's really interesting because he does say again at some point that he has his best interest in mind, and you can definitely understand that. It's almost like I don't want to like say it's like a race issue with the trolls, but it's like, a species issue, I guess.
Yeah, there are
changelings
a lot of like subtle
nods to like here's like, definitely like to trying to make a statement about something. And so here's Strickler, and he totally, who knows how old he is even, because Jim says, he's been teaching, high school history for all of history.
Since the dawn of history.
Since the dawn of history, yeah, like that's the line. And he's just trying to like, be a good little changeling. Which is definitely, and he's definitely upset that Jim's a troll hunter, and I like that. I like that he had an attachment to Jim.
Yeah.
I love that whole scene where he finds out and Jim comes into his office and he's like constantly readjusting the chair, and he's just like, what is wrong with this kid?
Like, such a random like little point for Jim to be. I guess like he's just nervous. He keeps trying to make the chair go higher.
I think he's like a little kid compared to me. He's like, oh no. Needs to be higher. Needs to be higher.
Well, in Jim's defense, that is Strickler's fault because he doesn't have any chairs other than his one in his office. So,
yeah, that little circular.
I mean, come on, man. You're a teacher. You have this big, huge office. Get a chair.
Get a chair for the kiddos.
Especially if you're expecting like to have meetings and stuff in there. I mean,
yeah, when he's like, you can come by my office anytime. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have any chairs though. You're gonna have to sit on either the piano stool or the floor. Sorry.
Yeah. And he's just trying to. He's very frazzled, and I like when he kind of just decides very quickly. He's like, okay, so here's the thing. It's chess.
I love when he goes over to there. This little detail of he looks outside and Steve's out there like tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, that was so funny to me. I was like, oh my gosh, like.
The fact that Steve could even see him and just look at that exact moment.
I miss whistling Steve.
I love the whistle of the tooth missing. And the little like lisp it gives him.
Oh, so good.
It's definitely funny.
But like, I loved how Strickler was like, I'm gonna get closer to his mom. Because, villain thing to do. And then that like turns into, it's like, I'm gonna get this so I can get at Jim, and then like it turns into a loving relationship.
Yeah.
I thought that I like
really
that.
Likes.
Yeah.
He really does care for Jim, and I questioned that quite a bit until like season 3, where he was like trying to tell him, no, don't do this. I'm like, okay, he really, really does care for Jim, not just his mother. Like
that they point that out as a weakness to him. Like, they're like, you care for this boy, so we're gonna expose you. Like, he's, Bular calls him young Atlas, and then
that was such a that was an FU moment to Strickler. Like, for sure, it's like when he's like young Atlas, and he's like, why'd you call him? Yeah, that was really.
He's like, I call him young Atlas. Yeah, that's a great moment, and they're like, because we know you like him, so you're exposed. Now you're gonna have to deal. With fighting him.
And the fact that he goes to Jim for protection after Angarok goes against him was just so funny to me. He just
Jim, I love Jim's reaction to him. I love his I said I'd protect you, not keep you comfortable.
Yeah. It's another great line.
Tied to the chair.
Like, so many good one-liners in this show.
So many great one-liners.
Oh, man.
When he spits in his mouth. It was so gross. It's such a teenage thing to do.
Well, I mean, now I guess you could say that Strickler has swapped saliva with both of the lakes.
Ugh.
Yeah. I regret saying that, but it happened. I'm not going to cut it.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It happened.
Definitely happened.
Man, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and he's so like mean to Jim. I mean, it's just like he likes to tease him about it, which is hilarious. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see your mom."
Oh, I love that when they're all at the Touch a Truckathon.
Yeah.
Great name, by the way. I love it. He's like, "Oh, I have an appointment with your mother," and you're like, "Oh, bro, in front of all the kids, in front of Steve."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like,
I just love the episode in general when Steve's just chasing Jim around the truck.
I think that's the funniest part. He's just
like, "Whoa, dude, stop!"
Yeah.
And he thinks he wins, and then Eli's in the back of the truck.
Eli's still back there. Eli wins.
I'm confused on how Steve won that thing because he didn't win any of the events, and Eli won 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I thought Eli was gonna win.
Yeah, like, that would have been great. Like, that was what surprised me because I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait, Eli won the book thing and the truck thing.
Yeah.
And popularity.
I guess.
I like when he does win though, and everyone's just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I think I don't remember what he wants
he's
someone
like,
to
say my name. He's like Steve.
It's like Steve Falchuk.
So good.
It's the one guy, Steve Falchuk. And he's like so obsessed. I love that these like shows, especially like shows like this that are high schools taking place, but there's something that's higher at stake. It really pokes fun at how stupid things that you care about in high school are. Like,
yeah.
You're looking at Steve and you're like, okay, like this is not important. Like,
well, there's that scene when they're in Strickler's office.
Oh my gosh,
like,
I love
Jim
that
and
scene.
Strickler are, puffing up in front of each other, and
right
Steve's just like, "I'm sorry, I made the poo joke. It wasn't funny.
I made a poo joke. It wasn't funny." And they're like, "Not now, Steve." Like the two of them are just yelling at each
Poor
other.
Steve.
Poor Steve is like,
he's so confused.
Such a confused little child, and his nightmare is that there's more than one of him.
and he's not the popular one.
He's not the popular one.
Let's talk about that episode.
I love that episode.
I love that episode so much.
And Garrot just comes in with the pixies.
It's a smart diversion, though.
It is very good, and I love that Toby is just kind of running away from his nana.
I like Claire's, trying to find
Enrique,
and then it's like that weird train spotting scene where like the baby's on the ceiling and like always just out of reach.
Yeah. I think a lot of the like imagery and like things like that in the show are great from Del Toro because he's a horror master.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely like things like that can get creepy. Or like,
yeah, there's one more thing I just want to mention about Claire in that scene is that when Toby gets out of it and he goes to get Claire out of it and she thinks he's Enrique.
Yeah.
And she slaps her across the face and she finally wakes up and slaps him back across the face.
She's like, ow! Whack.
Yeah, I love that. It's just like pop. It's like without any sort of like, oh snap. It's just like wham, right back. Like that. I love that is her reflex. Like reflex. It's just like, I'm just gonna whack you back.
Yeah. I love that. I love that she's also just kind of sitting in the locker, like freaking out, thinking that she's getting sucked in. Like it cuts back to her just being like, and she's just sitting in a locker.
Yeah, she's just in the locker. That was great. And everybody's doing weird stuff. Like the drama teacher is.
The drama teacher's like, I'm on stage. What's my line?
What is it? Is it Mary Wang? She's like naked the whole time.
Yeah, she's like, someone took my clothes.
Yeah. Did we ever see Darcy?
I don't think so.
I know that we have the mascot in Toby's vision.
Toby's vision, yeah.
And then it turns out to be his Nana. But I don't think we actually see her dream. I remember her talking. I have to go watch that one again because I remember her talking about it and she was like, let's never speak of this. Like,
it never happened.
Oh, yeah, and there's that one girl whose name they say her name once. The girl with the glasses, but she's making like
Shannon.
Yes.
She's making like a Jurassic Park reference.
Yeah.
Like the dinosaurs are out of the exhibit, and yeah, I was like, that's great. Thank you for that. I love that's like her biggest nightmare is Jurassic Park coming true.
She's
And at the end, I love how, like, there's consequences. Everyone's just, like, freaking out, and the, like, police department's there and everything.
They're like,
what happened? Must have been a gas leak.
And everyone's
that's what happened.
We all, like, blacked out. I like the first one when Steve is blacked out, and they're like, finals. One kid always cracks.
Oh man, and the teachers. I really love the teachers, especially Mr.
Love the teachers.
I love how it's like, let's get a German guy to teach Spanish. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's Austrian.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Schwarzenegger, so.
Yeah. He's like,
I
so
love
they're
it
like,
so much.
and they did that just because they thought it would be funny.
And it was funny. They succeeded.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Especially during season 3, the episode. Oh my gosh, when he's like on the board, but the Chalky's just like saying stuff in Spanish, and he's like possessed.
God,
he's
so
like,
creepy. The powder.
Yeah, the grave sand.
Yeah, he gave him drugs.
Yeah, let's just call it like it is. It's drugs.
Strickler gave Jim drugs.
Well, Strickler doesn't think very well. Going back to Strickler, he doesn't. It's one of those where he kind of just like treats Jim like any other person.
Yeah.
Like when he's telling them to do the eye, like shave, Ankle Rot's eye down.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, and then he's like, oh yeah, I had the eye of Gunmar the whole time. I was using it as, insurance. I've had this for years. There you go, you can have it.
Yeah, here you go, take it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I also love, I think it's, again, we're going farther past the season, but when they're booby trapping the house, pretty much a Home Alone house. Yeah. And his mom comes home and Strickler shoots the crossbow at the ceiling by accident and the lamp falls. They're like, Barbara, hi.
I like how, like, when that happens, like, she pulls out, I thought it was going to be mace, but it's like a perfume bottle.
Yeah.
And it seems like, oh, God.
Yeah. And Jim's like, Mom, no, don't do that. They totally knock out Draw. I mean, that whole scene is just hilarious. It's hilarious chaos, which happens a lot through the show.
I love the dinner scene.
Oh, the dinner scene's great. Scene.
When the mom goes out of the room.
That Draw scene, like, I like when Draw gets captured, and, like, he's, like, reaching out for Angarot, and his arm's just like, oh, bleh. Yeah. And just, like, the mechanical's, like, falls.
Yeah, you're having this, like, whole, like, panic moment, like, they were so close, they almost had it, and then, Draw gets captured, and then just, they had to throw that in, his little fake arm just goes, ching, ching.
Oh,
I would hand you the amulet, but I don't have an arm.
Yeah.
Those little quips.
His arm at the museum, he's like, not mine.
Oh, man.
Definitely.
Not my arm.
And I wasn't expecting to love that character, because at first you're like, you hate him, he's so mean.
Yeah. Joel's right up there with Strickler. Like, they both have really good arcs.
Yeah. I love it.
You grow to love him, and then he's just like, gone.
He's just like, I know, it's actually kind of interesting, the consequences in the show. I haven't really seen, again, like, I ask myself a lot, like, how this is really 7 and older. Like, I feel like if there was somewhere in between, like, it doesn't need to be a TV-14 show. Definitely not. But it gets creepy.
I'm aware that a lot of older people are watching.
Yeah. And it just gets creepy, like, I don't know, I watch a lot of kids, and I'm like, I'm not going to show this to them. I think when Nomura is chasing Jim up the stairs, that scares me every time.
And she, like, kind of slithers like a spider or a snake or something. It's like, whoa.
And she's scratching her nails under the door. Like, I mean, obviously we know this is all from Horror Mastermind, which is, like, very obvious when you watch it.
I just love dark kid shows.
I love it. I love dark kid shows. It's like Billy and Mandy when we were kids was so bizarre and creepy. Yeah, it's like definitely, I don't know, it definitely just is creepy at points, but you can follow it. It doesn't have to just be creepy.
Yeah. Because you'll have a creepy scene, and then you'll have like that like we were talking about earlier.
Like the arm.
Well, yeah, like, and then we'll have the the Strickler and Jim over dinner scene.
Yeah.
Like, can you bring me a sharper knife?
Yeah,
for the
better. Yeah,
for the meat. And they're like, I lost my contact.
Yeah, and they're trying to like look on the floor. I love that Jim tries to eat the pea, and it just falls off.
Yeah, so he's like trying to stab it, and it's just like going away.
And he's got this like smug look the whole time, like he's trying to,
oh my
intimidate
God,
Strickler, but he can't even get his food on his fork, and it falls off the table. And when Drawl, oh my God, poor Drawl's in the basement, and they're stomping, and he's trying to count, and he's trying to not get noticed.
Oh yeah, because it's like 2 stomps, you're not okay.
Yeah.
He's like, but then there was 4, and then Strickler's just like, wait, well then that's 5 stomps. I'm running out of fingers for stomps.
And then he's got Claire to deal with, who bangs her head, and he's like, "Oh no."
Now what do I do with this one?
I'd like, what was the plan? He's like, I've got Drawl in the basement, tap tap. Yeah, and then like, were you expecting Drawl to come out and fight like that? Because then your mom would definitely know.
Yeah.
Because Drawl has a habit of going roaring whenever he's about to fight. So
definitely loud.
Oh, that's true though. I mean, I guess they make it look like she just like bumped her head and had a dream like they did in season 3. Like, oh, you just dreamt this.
His mom has to have like 7 concussions. Like, they're knocking her out all the time.
That was actually really scary. I just remembered when Nomura, like, I don't know if she like poisoned her or something, or she put her to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that part though, with Jim coming in. He's like, sorry, whatever, and then he's like, but you can't come here. Like, you have a lot of nerve coming here, and he does it all in front of his mom. Like, wow.
Well, he does the same thing with Strickler too, and you're just like,
yeah, and he's like, like he definitely brings his emotions toward these people. That they're not actually human.
Yeah, he does not hide his animosity towards people. Like,
he's like, I'll kill you.
Yeah. It's like, do you want me to kill you? I'll got you right now. Yeah, they do it. Dang, Jim, calm down.
Yeah, I will kill you.
Well, he's not really intimidating. He's just words.
Yeah, he tries to intimidate.
Yeah.
But he can't really. He can't really freak out Strickler.
Do you guys have a favorite like fight scene in this season?
I mean, definitely the dinner scene is great, but as far as like a fight sequence itself, I really like the first fight with Nomura, with the music and the visuals. That one is really, really, really fun to watch, and Jim's just getting his butt kicked.
Yeah, the one with Claire and President Danger, I think the episode's called or something, where he lures Claire into the woods and stuff like that, and she just shows up.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. That's a fantastic scene. Like, it's slow-mo, and he's like cutting all the goblins. And you have like exploding, like it's a dark palette, but then you have like these pops of like green and blue, and it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it definitely.
Yeah, they use that song. They used it again in season 2, called like "Going Up the Sun." The song.
Yeah.
Season 3, that's like, what? That's like iconic for like heavy scenes.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
really
upset.
I also love that like when they bring Claire into everything, that she kind of like, he tells her, don't tell anybody about this, blah blah blah, but she runs right to her parents.
Oh yeah.
Help. Which, I mean, honestly, that's something that you would expect someone to do. Like, you're like, don't tell anyone about this, but meanwhile, he's dying.
Well, yeah, he got attacked by coyotes.
Yeah, coyotes.
I like how everyone was like, yeah, that's a plausible thing, coyotes.
I mean, honestly, like, what else would you say? Like, I'm in the woods, I heard a baby cry.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah,
let's go find the baby.
Like, half a mile from Claire's place, she heard a baby crying in the woods.
Yeah. And he's got
his stories are not the best.
No, and his mom sees it right away. It's like, no, the truth. What happened?
Yeah, cough it up. What'd you hide in there?
What is going on? And the whole time she's like, I know teenagers go through things, and he's just like, it's not quite.
This is not.
And
not
the letters and
Mom.
stuff.
Yeah, she didn't open the letter.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. It tells about their relationship too. Like she would rather hear it, face to face from her son than in some rando letter.
Mm-hmm.
And Toby says he's not going to, but opens it up.
He opened it right away.
He's like, I'm your best friend. That took our friendship to a whole nother level.
And he's just like, of course you opened it.
Yeah, I did like Toby's this isn't goodbye because we gotta go get tacos after this. I bought them last week. It's your turn to buy. Let's go get tacos after this. I thought that was really, really good. Like they have a fantastic friend relationship.
Yeah, definitely a really good one. And I love that, like, when Strickler's counting off things he knows about Jim, he's like, I know you like Claire, and I know you'd do anything for Toby, so it's definitely, like, a known aspect of the two of them that, like, Jim, not that he's, like, a protector for him, but he kind of just cares for him.
Yeah.
In certain ways. And I think it's so cute when they're on the walkie-talkies across from each other in the houses at night.
Yeah.
And his awful pep talk.
Adorable.
He's like, are you ready? No. Yeah, me either. Good night.
He gave Kat the best birthday present ever, though. Like,
yeah, oh my gosh.
You got all the papers ready, like, learner's permit, here we go. You're gonna ride that on Vespa today.
I totally thought he was gonna crash it.
Man, that would be awful. I could say, yeah.
I want to know what kind of damage there was, but I mean, like, that big flying thing, like, does kind of, like, tap it once, but, like, he does a really good job of, like, avoiding everything.
Yeah, he really doesn't. I mean, they said there was, like, a scratch on the mirror.
Oh, well, that's not worth $300 worth of damages.
Well, I mean, I guess, like, if you can charge someone, clearly that guy would want to.
Yeah.
I think that guy is also the...
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Character, yeah, that we were talking about before.
Which I'm fine with stuff like that. Like, that's okay.
No, I'm fine with that. It's just funny when you notice it, because actually at first I really didn't notice that until...
Like, I just noticed it on this second, watch through. And I was like, oh, wait, that's the same. Oh, they're all the same.
Yeah.
But they're all different enough to where it doesn't, like, throw you out.
It doesn't, no, you don't think it's the same character.
Yeah, like, no, if it would have been, like, two of those people in the same scene, then it would have been like, oh, well, that doesn't make any sense.
I think you would know how Miraculous does that.
Oh, yeah, how...
Ladybug.
They put people in the same, especially that one woman pushing her baby.
The
is, like,
one
in
woman
every single scene.
And then she's in the next scene, yeah.
She's their favorite. They're like, we need a background character. Get the girl. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. But definitely something that a lot of shows do. So, I mean, it makes sense because you don't want to have to design and go through so many characters just for, like an appearance. But it's definitely done well, since they have to do that. It's definitely done well here because I really didn't even notice it going through the show. And it was kind of interesting.
Before you don't notice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of this part, I guess. They call them parts, not seasons. This part was very long.
Yeah, it's also weird because it seems like it should have been 2 parts that they put into 1 part.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have definitely been 2 parts. I think when Claire finds out, it kind of feels like there's a split.
Well, like after like, when they defeat Boulard, I think like that should have been the end of like the first part.
Yeah.
Because that's like episode 12.
Yeah, that definitely.
And then you pick it up. Like you could have done like almost some sort of time skip because it feels like there's been like a couple weeks of time skip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in this amount of time, Claire's read like all of the books, like knows Troll now.
Yeah.
And so like it seems like there's been a skip. So if there would have been a skip between part 1 and 2,
yeah, it would have fit.
It would have fit. It would have made it a little bit more plausible instead of we end the episode with the fight on the bridge and then them doing Romeo and Juliet, and then
that's what I was thinking. It definitely feels like we survived the play. Like, okay, we survived this arc.
And then boom, right then it's like, oh, now Claire knows everything.
No, yeah,
and you're like, oh, okay, well that seems like it was a weird 12-hour conversation, 12 hours that occurred in this.
Yeah, I definitely
part of season 1. I noticed that all the episodes are within days of each other. Blinky is a human for 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And he's only supposed to be for a day or two. It's oh, that's a lot for just a day or two.
Yeah, it was a long amount of time that he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I often
like
forget that the whole series is one less than a year. The whole series is less than a year, and you're just oh my god, all that happened in a year? It doesn't seem like it.
It's like Gravity Falls. It all takes place over 2 months. And you're
Gravity Falls.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, it feels like a lot. But then again, if you were to make every episode a day, and then they do mention time sometimes. They're like, oh yeah, it's been 2 weeks since this, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. Or they'll and they have Jim's birthday, which is definitely an important time, I guess, mention that he gets older. And then I like when he gets the Vespa, and at first he's hiding it because his mom she doesn't really want him on one.
Oh yeah, he's I can't, he has to turn the lights off and let it coast when he rolls into the driveway.
He rolls behind, and you can see behind the garage, and they never really mention that he's doing that, but you see him doing that.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's there's a lot of little clever stuff in,
because
in
it wouldn't make sense for him to just show up with one, so he hides it at first.
And then he and Blinky made that sucker real quick. I've never made a Vespa from random parts, but they did it in an episode. So
yeah, I think that was really, really nice too, because they mentioned that his dad gave him a bike kit and then left, and he never even touched the bike kit.
Yeah,
that it just
sat.
A
lot of good callbacks in this show.
Yeah, it just kind of sat in his garage, and so then Blinky found the parts, and and eventually he calls him, in the I think even the final episode, he's like, I see you as a son. Mm-hmm. And it's just very nice that they give him that dynamic. And usually in these kinds of shows, it's the mom that's missing, if you think about it. I just remember a lot of shows, they just didn't have a mom. So it's interesting to see a male character with just his mom, and how he definitely does have a feminine, I guess, aura to him, in the sense that he's very caring towards, they're very motherly.
Yeah, he's very motherly towards, especially, Toby and Claire and all the trollsies.
Yeah, he just wants to care for everybody. And I love especially when he goes to Claire's house for the first time, and he meets actual Enrique, real baby Enrique, and he's just, wanting to make him laugh, and he's just showing him the amulet. He's like, look, ooh.
It's daily.
What I got.
Make babies.
Make babies like me or something.
Yeah. And the baby's loving it, and he's shh, he's got a little secret with the baby.
That's so adorable.
It's just so cute, a little touch that, he's gonna go to Claire's house, and he's gonna pay attention to the baby. He's not just I'm here to see Claire, stupid baby. He's it's a baby.
He also knew the baby's name, so he's like, oh, well, this is Enrique.
This is Enrique. He remembers his name. It's a little brother.
And he comes back a second time, and it's you're too cute to be a changeling.
Yeah. He's gonna babysit him. He's like, oh, you're too cute for that. But just to be sure, and I love that whole little thing with the baby hides the gaggle tack.
Yeah.
And he's like, you were buckled in, weren't you?
Wait a minute. And he turns around, the baby's gone. He's like, I knew it.
It's so good. They're there's a lot of humor in this show.
Yeah, it's definitely funny to watch.
I had forgotten how much humor there was, especially because like the last season I watched was season 3, and that is a very, very serious season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, watching this one, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. There's a lot of really good stuff in this season.
Yeah, it really is funny to go back and see everything and remember it. And I love when, the parents come home and Jim's just in this destroyed kitchen, and Enrique is just the fake Enrique turns back into real Enrique, not Enrique. He's just cooing baby.
He's just like, yay, it was fun, and you're like, yes.
Yeah, and you're like, what did you do with this baby?
I like the episode where he throws a house party, and at the end, he's like, he actually helps Claire.
Yeah,
to get everyone out.
It's one of those I totally want to. I want to try that thing with like the red and blue Christmas lights.
Yeah,
I want to go to a friend's house, like string those up, and be like, "This is the police," and just see if that works. Because it is really, really cool.
Really, yeah, I love that he really does start to have like a relationship with Claire.
Like he shows her brother in the dark land, and she starts crying, and then he's like, "Okay, what kind of burger do you want? I'll get it for you."
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
It's very
so cute.
Yeah, they are like almost siblings now. So
yeah. It's cute. Like he even calls himself her brother. Like when she's in trouble, he's like, "Oh, her brother's here," and he likes the little bunny rabbit.
Yeah, he's like, "Stay away from my sister." Yeah, that's good.
It's really cute, but I do love at first that she like can't stand him, and she's like, he chooses the diaper. He can use the toilet. He chooses the diaper.
And Enrique has to be one of my favorite characters of all time. Like he's so amazing.
Oh yeah, like it's one of those like it gets to the point where I like a lot of the side characters more than I like the main characters. Like I love Strickler, not Enrique. Like especially like, when we get into like season 2, like Eli and Steve. Like I love the Creep Slayers. I wish we would have gotten more Creep Slayers.
Creep Slayer.
Yeah, I love that. And I think actually just like going off, talking about Creep Slayers, I think they might have a role in the next series, 3 Below.
Yeah, they've been confirmed to be in 3 Below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun to see.
Which we didn't really talk about. Like, Trollhunters is part 1 of the Tales of Arcadia series. So we've got Trollhunters, and then the next one is 3 Below, and then is it Wizards?
Yeah, Wizards is 2019.
Do we know is 3 Below this year?
It should be late this year, is what I've seen.
I'm thinking December, because a lot of the series came out in December, so I'm thinking it's probably December.
As far as Netflix goes, I think it'll start then.
All I gotta wonder is, are they gonna ever have, like, Jim back in there ever
again?
I
would definitely like to see, like, maybe an episode where he has to come back and help them. Like
I don't think they'll do that until like the
very
very end.
No, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like finale type thing. Maybe he'll show up. We'll probably see Toby, because Toby's supposed to like protect Arcadia now.
Yeah,
we'll probably see him a few times. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see just like the same characters and know that something else is going on, that they're going to New Jersey.
I mean, I already love Austin. Like, I just love them so much, right? I love their accents and everything. It just like adds so much to their characters.
Yeah, they're already so fun. They're so funny, and they're so. I mean, so obviously not from Earth.
I quote them all the times.
Yeah, I know.
They had like the funniest little quips in there and stuff, like, it's the teen center.
I love that they know that, like you like when
they're
you
like
figure out that they're not just these students, so they do know about all the supernatural things, and they're just like, yeah, okay, like we know. And they say, can you guys keep a secret? And they're like, oh yeah, we can keep a secret. You have no
we're great to keeping secrets.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, lightning in a bottle, to play that game. Like,
it's like, wait, what? Lightning in a bottle? How's that a game?
How's that a game? They end up making a citywide power outage, which is just so funny.
Did you guys have a favorite character? Or oh
Overall?
god, that's a tough one. Top five characters. Top five characters. Let's start with Megan.
Okay.
Yeah. As I put you on the spot.
I know. I love Jim, so Jim has to be number one, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Enrique. And then Droll.
Yes.
Oh gosh, Namora. I'm trying to think of number 5. I guess Claire. Claire's not my favorite, but she's like up there, so I'll put her up there too.
It's tough, especially when you have such a really good cast of characters.
Yeah.
And fantastic voice talent behind everybody. Like, there's not a character in this show that I'm thinking of. I'm like, man, this should have been somebody else.
Yeah.
They all
it was
really
perfect.
Were great. I was just so surprised. Like, I heard Steven Ewan's voice for Steve, and for a while, I mean, I've seen Voltron like for years, and I've always known it, and I know that voice. And I started watching Trollhunters. I was like, I know that voice, but it took a while for me to connect it because he definitely makes the role different. So it's the same voice, you could hear it, but it's just such a different character that he just does a really great job with that, being this little wimpy bully man.
Yeah, like my thing with him is like I didn't know like that it was Steven Yeun when I first I want to say like first couple episodes that he was in. I didn't know because like the last thing I had seen him in was The Walking Dead, and I had no idea. And then like he's doing this voice, and I'm like, that's a good voice actor. And then when you look it up, and you're like, wait, that's Steve Yeun? How? What?
Yeah,
it sounds nothing like him.
Yeah, I really like his voice in things. He's really, really great. But for my characters, I don't know if I could even put them in a particular order. I know I definitely have Claire somewhere in there because I love just how unique she is as a character. Definitely Droll, just because he's like a funny but serious character at the same time. I mean, I definitely have to have Jim in there because he's very interesting. I think, like, bittersweet hero character, tragic hero. I think that's what it was called in English class. So definitely the 3 of them. And I think the other 2 places I'd have to put Strickler somewhere. And probably, like, not Enrique somewhere because he's just a ball of crazy.
Yeah, it's
it's tough. I mean, I would change my opinions in 5 minutes, possibly. Like, someone could ask me again. I'm like, you know what? No, wait, I'm gonna do these people or these people. You know, the characters really are a strong foot of this show. You know, that it's just really about good characters.
Yeah, like
very fleshed out character.
I put Jim up top, and then like Mr. Strickler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, and then Claire because I love Claire.
I love Claire.
And then not Enrique, and probably Blinky.
Yeah, Blinky's great.
God, to put Blinky in there.
Like I was like thinking that too. Like I definitely like Blinky in there somewhere. And I just love how, I guess, rounded the character of Blinky is. Like he right away accepts Jim. He's like, okay, ooh, a human. Let's go with this. Let's go with this. And Arg, I love Arg.
Oh yeah, and I like how Vendel turned around too.
Yeah, Vendel, and he's very much the I don't know what to call him. He's just like the grand. He's like the Dumbledore type.
The Dumbledore.
Yeah, he's very much
that's
the
pretty
Dumbledore.
accurate.
That's.
You can see his thought process change. Like he really does not approve of Jim until he defeats Droll, and he's just like, wait a minute.
Oh, we could use this human troll hunter boy, and then everything he does, and then everything he does for Arg, when he gets cut.
Yeah, he really needs to care for Arg.
We'll keep it between us, and he's trying to it's not one of those when they have the competition. It's the the queen wants Arg to come back, and he's like, I don't want Arg to stay in Troll Market. I want Arg to decide what Arg wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really nice. So that's about when I started warming up to Vendel, and I'm like, okay, this guy's not so bad. He's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, and I like that he right away loves Claire. Like at first, he's like, another one. You can't bring another one, and she just starts speaking troll, and and he's like, oh, why shouldn't Sam let have chosen
back the Trollhunter?
This
one? Yeah, it's like you're welcome here anytime.
Anytime. And Jim you see Jim in the background, his facial expression. He's like, really?
He hates me. Why?
Poor Jim gets so much heat in Troll Market. It's just so funny to see him, trying to prove himself down there. And he's so tiny compared to them.
Yeah.
I like when he sees his legs, he's like, why are my legs like, has nobody told me I'm so skinny?
He's self-aware.
Yeah. I mean, it's really just a great first season. It sets everything up, and it's funny a lot of times, but it doesn't use comic relief too much, where sometimes you're like, okay, like you had to take away from these moments. Like it doesn't do that. It doesn't take away from, the serious moments or the good moments. It just kind of adds to the show itself without being a distraction.
Yeah.
And I love how it's not too cliche. Like there's some cliche moments, but it's like a good balance.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, I've seen this before. There's a lot of moments you're going like, oh my god, I was not expecting that, but it works in ways I never expected it to work.
Yeah, like I will say that I do have a couple complaints about this season. I was not a fan of the whole stone aspect. Well, I mean, I understand why we do it, and I mean it makes sense for the story, but I'm not a fan of the 2 episodes that we get, like the one where they go to the one troll, like the troll people in the forest.
God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like that episode never needed to be created. Like to me, I'm just like you could have done that in a different way. I understand like you're doing it because like you want it to be a funny, lighthearted moment. And we want to put music in the series for some reason.
I definitely was like, oh gosh, like why are we doing this now? Like
I was not a fan of that one, and the one with the Toby and Blinky go into the stomach of the big troll.
Yeah. It's
I'm
definitely
just like,
mature.
Yeah, neither one of those like episodes did anything for me.
Yeah, it's the humor that's a little like younger that gets kind of like, okay, like fine, like we're gonna do poop jokes, we're gonna do and
it's okay, but I won't go back to it.
Shoehorned in too, like personally, because it's so quick. It's like one episode we already got the stone. Next episode, boom, we don't have the stone. We had it for like 13 seconds, and then it was gone.
Yeah,
it's definitely like okay, like definitely not something that was needed, but I mean again, like even like the episodes of this show that aren't like the most standout episodes have great moments. I think like from the one with the dancing and the trolls, I think the thing I really liked about that was Jim and Claire getting some like development.
Yeah,
which is really nice to see.
When she asks him to the spring fling.
Yes, I love that actually. I love the girls' reaction. They're like, "You can't do that," and she's like, "I did it."
I did, yeah. I like those. Like, if I would have waited for you to ask, we would have been graduated in college.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a good one.
He's like,
that's a good one, Claire.
Yeah, I do like that she asks him, and it's very like quick and like nonchalant. She's like, "Do you want to go to the dance?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll probably go."
Oh wait, you mean with me? Oh,
with you? Oh, yeah, I like that.
It's so awkward. I
definitely see from the beginning of the series had like a secret crush on him as well that he had. Because she warms up to him very quickly, despite things that he supposedly did, like throwing the party at her house.
I think in the book it says that she originally met him at like a council party from her mom or something, and then he was dancing with his mom, and he's like, "Oh, that's so adorable. I wonder who he is." And then she transferred schools to his school, so that's
that's cute.
That's pretty nice. Adorable.
Yeah, that is really sweet. Oh, that is so sweet. So sweet. I like the little sweet aspect of it. It's very human nature to be just sweet like that.
Yeah.
My phone's on 1%. Oh no. I might drop out soon.
So, what did you guys? Let's just go ahead and kind of probably wrap this up. If you were to rank this with the other 2 seasons, where would you put this season? Like out of 1, 2, and 3?
I think I put it at the second.
Yeah, I think to me
second.
It goes 2.
Yeah, I think my favorite season might be the second season.
Yeah, I'm right there with
Not
you.
that I dislike anything
really,
of the other seasons. I really, really like the second season. Like
for me, it's number 3.
Yeah.
I like season 3 the most. I don't know why. I think it's because it's new, and I just like the new one for some reason.
Yeah, and it's the more serious and the plot driven. I don't know, but something for season 2 stuck out with me. I have to go look at those things again. But good seasons, good, all really great stuff.
So we all recommend season 1 of Trollhunters. So definitely go watch it if you haven't, or if you already have, go watch it again.
Yeah, go watch it again.
A million times. Go support them.
Go find all the little background characters. Find out what they do.
And read the books.
Yeah, I need to read the books.
I gotta do that too.
Megan, where can everybody find you social media wise?
If you want to find me, it would be Meg Amber, so MEGAMBER 28 on Instagram, or if you want to find my social media for the like Troll Hunter stuff, it's on Tumblr, and it's Creep Slayers with 2 Z's. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
And Signe.
If you want to find me, anything with voice acting, things like that, or honestly just posting things from my life, my personal account would be Signe.Taylor. So that's SIGNE, and then a dot, and then just the name Taylor. And then, things for animation related and cartoon related is actually just You Got It dipping sauce with no spaces.
And we'll put both of those links in the show notes. If you want to follow them, all you have to do is click on that, and it'll take you right there. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast, on Twitter at Animate Podcast, on Facebook and Tumblr at Animation Station Podcast. You can also find all of our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, any of your favorite pod-catching services. Or you can go to our website, animationstationpodcast.com. Be sure and leave us a nice review or a bad review on iTunes. We'll take all the reviews.
Let us grow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need to grow. And then we can become troll hunters. Maybe I'm not 100% sure that's not how it works.
Maybe.
All right. So thanks both of you guys so much for coming on.
You're welcome. I think we might have lost Megan.
Yeah, I think we lost Megan.
Before we go, I wanted to just say, a good rest in peace to Anton.
Anton, yeah.
Yeah, Anton. Great job on the show he did. Just his legacy lives on forever. Great dude.
Definitely, yeah. It was, yeah. And I like that they were able to get they had enough recorded with him to do this season, to do season 2, and then to do part of season 3.
Yeah,
I really like that. They didn't just automatically recast him or even try to. Before the series came out, just redo everything.
Yeah, they definitely.
I really respect Guillermo for doing that. That was really classy.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah. And
then Emil did a really, really great job finishing off the work. So
it was not a role that I would have wanted to step into.
Yeah.
Like,
so
even if it was offered, like, just trying to be like, we want you to almost replace Anton. Just be like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, and I think he really did a great job with stepping into that role, and it's a big thing to take on a role of someone who's passed.
Yeah.
So big props to him. Yes, and Dexter just made a little noise for us. So, hello, Dexter.
Oh man.
Dexter too.
All right. So, Megan, if you're listening, thanks for coming on. And Signe, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. So, for the Animation Station podcast, I'm Josh.
And I'm Signe.
And I'm Megan.
And there's Megan.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
And remember, everybody, stay crispy out there.
Oh, crispy. Stay crispy. Keep it crispy.